Hello everybody, my name is Hansi and welcome to another video from the Blessings Grids of Hope team. Today's topic is going to be Beat the System, and I hope that you are going to enjoy this video. Why should you choose the grids? First of all, the grids is a stokvel or a gifting system, also the same as a society, maybe in many ways. So what is going to happen is we are going to gift each other certain amounts of money, depending on which grid you are lying. So in other words, we don't have to pay taxes, for example. You cannot pay tax on any gift that you receive. Let me use this example. When a father gives his children money, those children are not going to pay taxes. So that is one way in which we can beat the system. The other way in which we can beat also the systems, because there are so many scams out there, there are so many pyramid schemes out there, so many investments that are risky, and the risk is just too high on all of these types of Ponzi schemes. Whenever you hear the phrase too good to be true, that is mostly the case. It's too good to be true also. So to add on what I just said, the person who's in the receiver of each and every grid will receive on the junior grid 8 times 250 Rand, and that will equal 2,000 Rand. The same principle applies to the senior, but the amounts change and they vary. So on senior, each and every person will give the receiver here 1,500 Rand, that equals to 12,000. And again, with a Galaxy, this person in the receiver will be gifted 8 times 7,500 Rand, and that equals 60,000 Rand. In other words, this person who's going to receive his 2,000 Rand in junior, or the 12,000 Rand in senior, if that person, for example, decides that either he's got a problem, for example, or he just decides that he wants to get out of the system, it's not what we really want, but it does happen. Life also happens. Maybe there's something that happened to your car, you maybe got into an accident or anything or something, and you are going to have to use the money. You have no way out. You're going to have to use the money. It does happen. Life happens to us, and it's not whether you decided on your outcome per se, but it happens that the money that those people receive sometimes is going to be used by them. That is not the end of the world, because your space on the grid is still there. After this person received his money, he was supposed to go out. So the person in senior, for example, is going to wait for his downline to come over to his board. All that it's going to take you is time when this person doesn't go over to his board, because he's going to have to wait for the next person to come over and fill his place. So let us compare the grids to maybe a pyramid scheme. Say, for example, South Africa has got 65 million people. I don't think I'm wrong. I think I'm more or less correct. And all of South Africa is part of this pyramid scheme. How a pyramid scheme works is you have to have recruits all the time, and they are going to have to pay a monthly subscription to belong to this pyramid scheme. There's also going to be certain levels within the pyramid scheme, and the person on top receives all the money, whereby he then also disperses the money to the different levels as he or she wishes, or according to the rules of the pyramid scheme. But say, for example, all 65 million people in South Africa belongs to this pyramid scheme. Then where are your new recruits going to come from? They have to pay every month and to keep the pyramid scheme alive. And if there are no new recruits, this pyramid scheme will die out. And that is where the grids is totally different. Because, as I said on the previous video also, that the reweaving and the influx of new members creates a circle of life. So thirdly, this is not an investment. With a typical investment, you are going to invest money, of course, a certain amount, and you are going to sit back and wait for your money to maybe grow, or you'll check on it and you'll see that maybe you've lost some. This is not the case here. Your money, the value of your money stays exactly the same depending on which grid you are on. If it is the junior grid, your 250 Rand value stays the same whether you are on this position or even the receiver's position. The only thing that differs is when you are on the receiver, you will be receiving 250 Rands times 8, whether it's on the Galaxy or the senior grid. The amounts might just change, but the system stays the same. In other words, you won't lose your money. So pertaining to the risk involved, I've asked a lot of people after showing them the grid and how it works, I've asked them a lot of times to show me where they can see the money will get lost or be stolen. Except for the fact that maybe the receiver takes his 2,000 Rand and goes, and this guy in senior takes his 12,000 Rand and goes. You won't lose any money. You may have as many spots that you have gifted on as many juniors or senior grids or the Galaxy grids as you want. And those, as I said previously, those money values will stay exactly the same. Yes, some grids might take longer than others to fill up and spin, but also, as I said previously, it depends on you. The grids are designed in such a manner that you will be able to create yourself a permanent income. In other words, look at this training that I've drawn here at the bottom. This is the first spot of 250 Rand, for example, that you gifted somebody. It's riding on the wheels of 60,000 Rand. And with your reweaves and extra gifts that you are going to place all over the grids, each and every one of those spots is going to create more or less a trailer for your train. And each and every one will reach the station and they will all ride on the wheels of 60,000 Rand. So as you can see, when it comes to a scam or the risk involved, there is no way in which any money can be stolen because we are gifting each other anyway. That is part of the system. The only thing is that each and every person has the responsibility to reweave and to upgrade to the following grids as they are supposed to. What can become a problem is if one does not participate actively in the grids and they don't get any people involved, or they don't participate in a team to push the grids on through. But that can be sorted out as soon as you start activating yourself and being part of the system again. So why a video on beating the system? Simply because the day and age that we live in is becoming much harder for us financially to thrive in. We won't be able to save as much money as we used to, if at all. Rising fuel costs, food, whatever the case may be, we must simply make a plan to beat the system, as I'm saying. And there's nothing like joining the 777 grids and being part of a interactive system whereby you can carry out choices and you decide the pace in which you go through the system as well. Sometimes it might happen that your grid stands still for a while. Remember, this is a journey and not a race. If you get people involved on your grid, and if you support, maybe in the case of a team working together, you might move swiftly through the grids depending on what you do. So this is totally not too good to be true, as you have to work. You have to put in a bit of work. You have to be updated on your grids, however many you have, and you have to manage it almost like a business. Please like and subscribe this video, and also share this video to your friends and family or your colleagues maybe, so that they can also understand what the grids are about, and to make us all prosper in the future. Please like this video, and if you want to find out more, scan the code to join the Blessings WhatsApp reception group for more information.